Hello. Hello, everyone. This is RK with Sacred Para. Hello and good morning or good afternoon or even good evening, depending on where you're at. So I am here with you today dressed in one of my iconic office wear attire for today. And I am really, really excited to be able to talk to you. I was hoping to be able to produce a flyer and all that good jazz, but in the same token, I did relay in a previous live that I will not be able to do the formal flyers like I used to because our schedule has dramatically changed with my husband, being able to fulfill this awesome and amazing passion with both of us being in fitness, but him having his clients and, his roster is continuously expanding and growing, and it's awesome and amazing. And of course I do yoga, and of course I do this right here, play therapy. So one of the things that has kind of, taken a back burner is being able to communicate with you guys via flyers and putting that out ahead of time so you can mark your calendars. So things are just kind of impromptu right now, which is fine. So if you're able to catch me live, that's amazing. It's awesome. I appreciate it so much. If you're able to, watch it on rewind and, be able to watch it and comment and give me feedback, I love that just as much. So, you just being able to ascertain the information and us being able to communicate and build a relationship is what really matters. So if you catch it live, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. So I am here with you today, and I'm having this live with you. Hi, how are you, Fairy the Wind 2001? Thank you so much for joining. My eyeshadow looks a little bit odd. I'm looking at it through the screen. I'm like, one eye looks a little different, but I was kind of like putting on makeup today and at the same time trying to, manage a 1-year-old who was trying to get into my makeup case. So I did the best that I could today. All right, so forgive me. Nonetheless, okay. Thank you so much for joining. So I wanted to come on live, be with you today so I can talk to you guys about something that I'm extremely thrilled about. I am extremely, thank you, loving the outfit. This is actually an old school outfit for me. Back in the day, before kids, like this was my get up, like almost all the time. Shirt, tie, loved it. In fact, when my husband and I met, I was wearing jogging pants, like the whole jogging suit. Like I had a wife beater on, a white wife beater, some white jogging pants, one leg up like LL Cool J. I thought I was the stuff, right? So yeah, this is like one of my favorite get-ups of back in the day, throwback for me as far as style-wise. But something I'm extremely thrilled about that has really, called me to do this live is the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. This has been months in the making, y'all. Like literally, I'll give you a real quick summary of how this even came about. As many of you know, I have 10 children. My husband and I, we share 10 children. Like we got married and had children, and boom, 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 boom. And now we have 10 amazing, wonderful little kiddos. And I have had different pregnancies and different pregnancy experiences with each child. And the aftermath of it, the postpartum stage has varied. At times I've had postpartum stages that were great and like literally flew through it. Other times I may have had more sadness, more depression, more haunting thoughts that, I had to come back from, combat. Like literally my husband and I having to combat those spirits that was taunting me mentally, so that I could still continue to move forward and continue to live. So it's been a journey. Each postpartum stage has been a journey. Even right now, our son just turned 18 months, and that year and a half for me has been different. There's been highs, there's been lows, there's been a lot of, self-talking, self-coaching to get oneself out of a dark place, being able to talk to you guys on here and share different experiences and have someone, write me and DM me and just say like, I feel your energy. I feel that you're low, continue to, stay strong. You matter. Oh my God. Like those things have helped to keep me and maintain me, my children, being there for me, the rubs on the back. even after, you know, a lot of excessive yelling and crying and tantrum throwing that they may do, you know, they'll come right back and be like, "You okay, Mom? There goes some tissue." So it helps. And like I said, this past year and a half has, you know, been very, very different. I've experienced so much that was completely new. And some of it, you know, if it would have happened years ago, probably would have completely shut me down. So to be able to suffer through it and still smile through it, and still cry through it, and still be able to hold my husband's hand through it has been amazing for me. And I'm very thankful for our doll community and just our play therapy, our play community, period, with miniatures and you know, people who take yarn and cotton and they make these amazing little dogs or cats and animals and make you know, little babies out of it. It's been encouraging for me to be able to see those videos and see those pictures and see the creativity that's done with fashion, see the creativity that's done with storyline. All of it has been soothing for me. It's been healing for me. So I want to say kudos and shout out and thank you so much for just being the amazing people that you are, suffering through whatever journey that you have and still producing such amazing photos and pieces of work for us to be able to cherish and hold on to and be able to get through our situations, be it good or bad. So for me, this devotional was really birthed out of a postpartum stage. And I had believed that it was going to be a postpartum devotional. I was like, okay, this is going to be a postpartum devotional. I already have a journal out there for pregnancy. And that was just like a generic journal, you know, for someone to be able to, you know, just chart their thoughts and whatever feelings that they have. That's our little one in the back, Malcolm. He's with his brothers. So it initially had just been that, like, I'm going to do this for postpartum. And then I was like putting so much stuff in it about hobbies and play. Hold on real quick. Sorry there. I was putting so much in there about hobbies and play. And it was interesting to me. I was like, okay, why am I writing so much about hobbies? Why am I writing so much about play? And I just kept it going, you know, because play and play therapy has been what's helped me. And just for anyone to know, I literally am a certified life coach. So that's another one of my hats that I wear. So when I talk about being a play therapy coach, like that's literally my area. I have my degree in psychology. I have a degree in communications. I went to school for social work. I went to school for marriage and family therapy and counseling. So play therapy is just something that I have literally stumbled upon, and from my own experience, you know what I mean, like, has just brought so much joy. I remember in psychology, I'm backtracking a little bit, but I remember when I was an undergraduate student, learning about Carl Jung, he really did stick out to me. But I didn't think, everything okay? Okay. Everything all right? All right. So I didn't really think at that time that Carl Jung would be a figure that would be important to me later on. But it was interesting to me how he used play therapy while working with kids. And at that time, I was also working at a daycare, because, you know, a lot of us have our side hustles so we can stay in school and pay bills. And I had work study, and I had also working at a daycare. And I was working at a daycare, actually, with children that were homeless. And it was an awesome, amazing experience. You know, I've always been that person that loved doing missionary work, that loved working with nuns, that loved working with at soup kitchens and volunteering, like, since I was like yay high. Like, that's always been important to me. It's something that we ingrain in our children about being able to do good for others. And it's important. It's so very important. It's a humbling experience. Excuse me, not really from the perspective of like, oh, I'm doing so much better than I thought, and I'm so much better than you. No, being able to understand that we each need each other. Thank you so much for joining, Pop Sis. We each need each other. And at any point in time, I could be you. And I would want you to, you know, show me some kindness, right? So being kind to each other and doing good for each other is so important. So when I was studying in undergraduate about Carl Jung, and I was working with kids that were homeless, it was really like, it impacted me. But at the time, I didn't really feel that I had the confidence to take what he was doing and utilize those tools with kids. And it's really taken me all this time, working in the school system, being a teacher, leaving from there after we got married and I was pregnant, and I just had such bad morning sickness, which they do have a name for that. I just now found out what it was, because I had it like the entire time of being pregnant, and it was like that throughout various pregnancies, to the point where I had to stop working, and then becoming a homeschool mom, and then having to go from being so serious in life to now learning how to play. That even as I write about adult play therapy, and even as I talk to you guys about, adult play therapy and playwright, and anyone can playwright. Even when I talk to you guys about that, I am daily learning how to be a kid again, how to imagine again, how to ascertain what I cannot see and hold it. I just recently saw with the kids Hook, and it hit so hard. And I'm going to tell you about this artist named Kelly Lotta. I'm gonna put her in the caption, because I can't really think of her full Instagram handle. But she's amazing. She has a picture. She's amazing as a human being, period. It's just amazing. But she has this work that she does, and she's all, about eco-friendly artwork, and she's been featured in museums, like in other countries. She's fantastic, and she actually communicates to me in DM, and I'm fangirling. I'm like, oh my God, she's amazing. So you want to stay connected to her. Same with my first child. Yeah. I'm telling you, morning sickness was horrible. But going back to Kelly, she has a piece that she does with Robin Williams from the movie Hook. And I'm watching her create this because she has it on her reel. And I started to cry. My eyes got teared up, and I started to cry because it hit me so much different than it did when I was young. And my kids and I just saw it maybe about 3 days ago. And it hit different then. It still hit different then. I saw it as a kid, and I saw it from the perspective of maybe the Lost Boys, I see it as an adult, and I see it from Robin Williams' perspective. I see it as how much life can hit you, right? And you're trying to prioritize for your family and make the best decisions, and you feel are you making those best decisions that even whenever you can't be present for a baseball game, or you can't, play dolls, or you can't, do this and that, you feel like you're doing the right thing. And you want your kids to understand that, because you're doing everything for them. When you really do look at the movie from a fresh perspective of being an adult and remembering what it was to be a kid, you're I understand his perspective, that he was, he was burning candles at both ends. He was trying his best to be a family man, while at the same time, strike this deal and make life happen for his household. And at the same time, forgetting what it was to be a kid, because that wasn't on the priority list. So that's been pretty much what's happened with me. I spent so much time with children, between working in a daycare and mentoring kids and being a teacher. And I felt like I was in a good imaginative spot. Even when I met my husband, his nephew, who was 6 at the time, and I don't want to calculate how old he is now, because my husband and I have been together for 15 years. So he's way older. But he had these, WWE wrestlers, and I would get down on the ground with them and play, and da-da-da. And then by the time I had kids, I wasn't doing that. And I even would ask myself, why could you get on the ground and play wrestlers with him, but you're not doing it with your kids? It was the priorities had shifted, and what was more important for me at the time was making sure they're protected, making sure that they eat, making sure they have this, making sure that we move, making sure that we have this, all these making sure, and trying to check off the list and not having it happen on that set date and goal, and being frustrated. And in the family that you're striving to maintain and have, you're in so many ways not present with, right? So when I saw the movie, when I saw her draw it, it hit. Even right now, I kind of tear up, because you have to get back to that place where you imagine, and that empty bowl becomes full with ice cream. And this is honestly, you guys know how much I love the Lord. For me, this is me coming into an awakening of what it is to be in the spiritual realm, to imagine, to not see, that that which is there. Oh my goodness. That faith is the absence, the substance of things not seen, the evidence, right? So, and I'm not quoting it exact, I apologize. But not being able to see it, but yet it's there. So that's what faith is. So when I see Robin Williams manifesting this ice cream or manifesting this food out of his imagination, it lets me know you can get back to that. You can get back to that. You can get back to that place of imagining and making it real. And that's really what we're doing. I don't even know if I'm going to get to the point of, I'm probably going to do another live because I don't want to make this too long. I was going to plan on talking to you guys about all the various types of mother styles because you just got done witnessing my storyline with all the different mother-daughter relationships, and I wanted to talk about that. But maybe we'll do it on Saturday because tomorrow we have a birthday. One of our precious little kiddos has their birthday, so I don't want to do a live on its special day. But maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, I'll hop on here and we'll go through the mother-daughter styles. So I'll just keep them packed up for that day. But let's talk about imagination, because that's what we're doing as adult play therapists. We're talking about imagination. As an adult, it is so important to get and stay in contact with your inner child. You're so right, Pop says. My imagination was my power to survive my childhood. Yes, I agree with you so much. Like, my greatest moments in my childhood was imagining my dolls, being, just living out the life that I had for them, because it took me out of all of the confusion that was going on around me. It took me out of having to move so many times, from having to transfer schools, from having to be the new girl, from having to be bullied. It took me out of not being able to form relationships with other kids. It took me out of a state of depression. It took me out of being molested. It took me out of all these different things that I was going through in my life. And so imagination became my powerhouse. So when you say that and being able to survive different things in your childhood, and I believe that's why we connect so much with our dolls, be it on the 1-6 scale. Hi, my froggy stuff. How are you? Good morning. Wow, I can feel you 100%. Exactly. We're just talking about imagination, because I'm talking about where did this origin come from, the origin story of the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. And you're probably like, well, why are you crying? How did you get to tears? The tears because that journal, that devotional came from a place of adulthood, right? Of being so adult and so serious. And I was really writing it initially, good morning, because I had felt like I'm in postpartum, and I've been in postpartum throughout all these different stages. Maybe this is going to be a postpartum journal. But then I talked so much in the journal, with the prompts. I'm talking about playing and finding your hobby and attending conferences and connecting with other people through social media and elsewhere who are also involved in your niche or your hobby. And I realized, and I only realized this after I tried to publish this journal, and it wouldn't go through. It would not go through for nothing. And I was so frustrated. Any other time, I have 41 books out there, 41 journals, and all this other stuff, right? I can publish it, no problem. If I need to send it to my mentor, get it edited, no problem. I'm getting blocked every which way. Can't connect to my mentor, can't publish it. And it was just literally divine providence. Because I can't really tell when it was that aha moment, but I had that aha moment, and it may have been during the church service, and it was like, this is supposed to be a play therapy book. Oh, thank you, baby. And thank you so much for joining, Silver Tay 55. I appreciate it. So it hit me. This is supposed to be an adult play therapy book. And I went through and because I was trying to please the masses. I was like, maybe it's supposed to be about divas and queens and stuff, right? And then I was like, no, this is supposed to be about play therapy. This is what I'm doing right now. This is what is impacting my life and keeping me, sane. And and I enjoy it. I love it. And that's really where it came from. Now, the reason for the tears is because we were talking about Hook. And Robin Williams, and being able to see that from the perspective of the adult and the child, how that child was wanting Robin Williams as a dad to be there and to be more present, and how he was juggling all this stuff in adulthood with priorities and trying to make sure that he was being a family man while / company man, and while trying to, connect and finish out this deal, this contract. And he had so much on his plate that he was trying to manage. And I believe that we as adults have so much on our plate that we're trying to manage. So when I talk about adult play therapy, it's not coming from, and I'm pretty sure it's like the same with you too, right? Like, we're not coming from this perspective of, we're way up here and we know how to be an inner child and we're doing this and we can imagine anything. It's really coming from daily learning how to be a kid again, while still being an adult to manage life. And it's this balancing act constantly, but without your imagination, life is literally dreadful. Life is literally, you feel unconnected to everything around you. And so you need to be able to imagine. You need to be able, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That is your imagination. You have to be able to see it, even whenever it's not there. So when we talk about Hook, and Robin Williams has that moment right there when he imagines the empty bowls full with food. And you see the little boys, and they're, you got the little boy, especially the little cute little chubby one. Oh my God. So precious. I mean, he's probably like way older now, right? I mean, he has to be way older. Time has gone by. And he's like, you can do it. For me, it hits home because I do have my 10 kiddos. And I don't always connect the way I need to because life, And so I get that little whisper, or a very loud whisper through a tantrum, saying, like, you're not connecting with me right now. You're being too much of an adult. I need you to imagine with me. I need you to come to my level. So that little voice right there, and him being able to come to that place of seeing the food. And Rufio's doing all, he's doing too much. Rufio was just doing too much. And he literally takes the spoon, and when he flicked it, because he had became so much that he didn't even, it was no longer him forcing it. It wasn't like he was saying, this plate has meatloaf. You know what I mean? Or this bowl has the ice cream. It was him literally being like, I'm going to flick you with this food. And he believed it so much without forcing it to where, and it flicked on him. And I love it. They had that pause that like, because we're all doing that as the audience, right? We're like, there was food that wasn't there. And that's what we have to create in our play therapy as adults. We are creating something that to someone else, and someone else who's not involved in our community, it doesn't exist. Oh, those are just plastic figures. I don't know what you're doing. Like, that's almost their perspective. But to someone else who believes, it's like, regardless if it's in stop motion or not, they see it moving. They see what you're putting in there. I did the diorama, with the lounge, and I love the lounge. I really, really do. But I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of was like, there you go. There goes that demon voice of comparison. It was like, this does not look like everyone else's. I've seen some really good work, and mine doesn't look like that. And I was surprised. I'll be honest with you. I was surprised by the amount of responses that I got back with the reel with Mama Catherine sitting there at the couch, and people were like, this is awesome. This is amazing. This looks beautiful. And I was like, really? This looks amazing. This looks awesome. I really didn't think that it did. But the thing was, I put my heart into it, and I really was passionate about it. And I believe that's what people felt off of it. It wasn't how realistic that it was. It was, you guys felt what I was imagining when I built that lounge, when I constructed that mother-daughter brunch area. And that's what imagination is. Putting your heart into it and your passion into it and seeing it and then manifesting it for the next person or the next people, right? So when I went back and I looked at that journal, and that's part of the reason why we're crying, is also because we were talking about, and you said, and to connect with yourself. You can't connect with people around you. Exactly. So very, very true. You have to connect with yourself. You can't have your inner child and the middle child and the, and the young adult just like hanging on the sidelines, rooting for you or being like, hey, do you see me? And you're just running your race. I think because I was in track, right? And people would be like, go, go, go. And I was like, I'll be honest with you, I was a long distance runner, and that's a lot different than a sprinter. I did sprinting. I love sprinting. When they put me on long distance, I was not happy. I was not. And so when people be like, calling my name and saying stuff, I was like, unhappy. And I didn't connect with them. Now, how much greater would I have been as far as being a runner if I would have connected with them? If when they were saying my name and saying, go, 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 I would have received it. And then opened that stride and just went with it and received what they said. How much greater would I have been? But I didn't do that. I was just like, and I would even slow down a bit. I'd get mad at them for calling, for saying my name. Why are you saying it? This race is too long. It's too many people. I'm not going to make it. And I already had this defeated thought. I didn't connect with them. And I believe maybe, I love that you said that about connecting with yourself. Maybe we're already defeated because we don't connect with ourselves. We don't connect with that inner child. We don't connect with that middle person. We don't connect with who we were as a young adult. We don't connect. And so they're on the sidelines rooting for us or saying, see me. And we're not connecting with them. So we're not able to pull that energy, harness it, embrace it to be able to be greater. And when we embrace who we are, all these different middle passages of who we are, who we were, I believe that helps us even harness our imagination greater. And that is what people see, the real thing. Do you know how many people find it hard to receive? Oh my God. Say this. I mean, literally, we have children right now that my husband and I are like, why is it so hard for you to receive a compliment? And they're young. So, I mean, literally from the time that, and when I look at some of my kids that have a harder time receiving compliments, I'm like, is that me? What does that mean? And I believe to a certain degree, yeah. Even right now, my husband my husband does. He compliments me a lot. He compliments me on the phone, through text messages. He comes through the door. It's just compliments. And I do have a shout out for him because he came in yesterday and surprised me. He had wrote me and said, today's the day to celebrate you. And he wanted to go to the store. He was like, I got to get off of work and get to the store. And then he had left his wallet. He had to come home and get the wallet. He went right back to the store. I'm like, okay, he must. I'm thinking it's milk and stuff so we can have some cereal, do that and have an easy morning breakfast day. No, he came home with sushi, which I love sushi. And I really was planning on sushi for Valentine's Day. I was going to talk to him and be like, hey, how about we did some sushi and all this other stuff. Have the kids, join in because our kiddos are with us all the time. And it was really, really special to me. It was really, really special to me. And I had to learn in that moment, yesterday's moment, how to receive the blessing that he was bestowing upon me with the sushi and the fruit and him just loving me, and being able, he's like, no reason, just because you're you. And it felt really, really good. This is the second time this year that my husband has surprised me. He surprised me on my birthday. He came home early and he had sunflowers and stuff, which I love sunflowers. I've always loved sunflowers, and he calls me his sunflower. So it really did make me happy. If he needs to come in here, he can. So, all right. So yeah, receiving from the time that you're young to the time you're older is not an easy thing to do. It's not. But I imagine that we would be, there goes that word imagine, that we would be so much greater as an individual if we were able to receive and harness the energy of who we were at all these different times of our life. You know what I mean? And then we would be able to imagine, we'd be able to manifest. So there's so many different things that we want and that we need. And we're not getting it because we don't manifest it. And we don't manifest it because we can't imagine it. It's I want this. I want this car. I want this house. And we don't. We don't. Because we don't know how to really tap into the imagination. Pops says, that's sweet. Yes. And did you feel it inside your heart, or was it your birthday? I felt it in my heart. My birthday was in June, and that's when he did the first surprise. Because he says that, you know, he has a hard time surprising me because I figure things out. He calls me Sherlock Holmes' little sister. He's like, it's really hard to surprise you because you ask a lot of questions, you figure stuff out. And my husband's very truthful. That's one of the things I love about him, among so many other characteristics. So if I ask him a question, he's going to tell me. So, you know, and then on top of that, you know, I investigate. And it just so happened to be birthday. I did not investigate. I really thought he was going to be staying at work, but he came home early. And then yesterday, I had no clue. I really, really didn't. I was, you know, he said he did. He told me he had to go to the store. And I was just like, okay, you must be going to make it easy for mama. You're going to give me some milk for some cereal. Oh, you have an easy day. But yeah, he came home with the sushi and it was amazing. I mean, the sushi was great, but, you know, just having him to consider me and think of me and love on me and want to do that, like it literally made my heart smile and just brought me so much joy, and I was able to receive it on the inside. You know, I receive a lot of things here. I'm very mental, you know, and I think a lot of us who are, you know, intellectuals and stuff are very mental, you know, even being creative are very mental. And when you've gone through a whole lot in your life, you can get to a place where you rely on being mental. I could take him, baby. You rely on being mental because that's what helps you. You know what I mean? Like you don't trust the atmosphere. You don't trust the people around you. So it's harder to let the floodgates down in your heart. So you're just more like, I'm just going to, you know, take this mentally and go from there. This is our little one. This is our little one. So I'm waking up and just fussy. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday that I took him to. He's a little bowl of joy right here. Yes, he really, really is. Aren't you? So I'm a little bowl of joy. So, and what I find with this journal, yes, I do recognize that in your head is more easy. Yeah, it is. It's so much easier to communicate love, to communicate feelings in your head. And yet, oh, yes, sweetie, yeah, he is your sweetie. But the reality of it is just communicating it in your head is not true love. It's not true passion. That's not going to really get us to ascertain our imagination. And the only place that we can really hold on and grasp our imagination is through our heart. So when I went back and I looked at this devotional and journal and I had that aha moment, I had to go through the pages. Anything that had to do with Queen Diva, postpartum queen, I was like, let's take that out. Let's make this all about the journey of being an adult play therapist, because that's what we all are. Like, regardless if you're a coach, like I'm a life coach, or if you are, you know, you're doing this as a hobby, you're still an adult play therapist. There's something inside of you, even if it's like great. Like I don't care if you had like an amazing, wonderful childhood, no trauma. It's all great. There's still something in you that's being worked out, you know, through the work that you're putting forth, the photos and the crafts, you know. There's still something inside of you that's engineering. And so I consider us all as adult play therapists, and we're all learning how to connect and fully embrace our inner child. And it helps us to be more present in our day-to-day life. Just real talk. I don't care who you are, what size you are, what color you are, what gender you are. We're all learning how to connect and embrace our day-to-day life and be present. And that's what was so awesome and amazing about Hook, is that he came to a place of learning how to connect, of being able to embrace who he was and then be present with his children, and being able to say, you know what, I don't need this deal. I don't need this contract. If it's taking away too much time from where I need to be at. So we reprioritize. Imaginations and being able to imagine allows us to reprioritize. And I believe that's one of the reasons why this devotional meant so much to me. It meant so much to me compared to some of my other books. And some of my other books, don't get me wrong, I'm very connected to. I talked about that in my last live, about the books that I really do enjoy that I've written. And some of the books that, you know, I've received accolades from, if I liked it or didn't, you know, personally. But this book really does mean a whole lot to me. I'm excited because I'm going to be getting my shipment in of my own book, like, really, really soon. So I can be able to, you know, receive it and read it and talk about it. So one of the things that I am going to do is, my little fellow right here is getting a little active. So he's getting very active. That's one of the things he likes to do. I am going to post a page, I'm hoping each day, of what is in that devotional. So just being able to post a devotional page on here. It may not be like all 60 because it is a 60-day cleansing journal and I want you to get it. But I want you to have a preview of what's on there. And I just feel like it would be like a wonderful healing experience and just a wonderful experience for us to be able to, have that journey together, to connect us as a cohort. You know what I mean? So I'll be putting a page on here and just letting you be able to read it. Now, that's not going to be the full devotional or journal because there are journal prompts. Get the book. Get the book. Like, I look at it and I'm like, who wrote this? This is phenomenal. And not because I did, because, like, if someone else wrote it, I would be like, this is phenomenal. Because when I read it, I'm like, this helps me. So there's journal prompts, which I'm not going to put on here because I want you to get the book. And I want you to read those journal prompts and write what means, whatever, comes to you, whatever that prompt brings up for you, to be able to write it. Yeah, to be able to write it. Hi, Love Lamar 92. Just talking about this adult play therapy devotional and journal. So I'm going to post a page of the devotional on here, and I'll do it, hopefully each day or every other day, depending on what this little one allows me to do. And I'm letting you know because I don't want to post it and have you be like, wow, that looks really funky on her feed. You know what I mean? Like you have the storyline, you got the lives, and then you just posted this random, page, this random quote. It's not a random quote. It's going to be coming from the Sacred Parent Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. So I'm just letting you know so that when you do see that in my feed, when you see it in my story, you know that it's coming from that book. You want to get that book. You want to get that book. Give it to a friend for the holidays. That's nice. Thank you for doing that. Yes, most definitely. I want you guys to be able to get a sneak peek, be able to know what's in there. And then, like I said, it connects us as a cohort. It connects us as a family, as a doll family, as a miniature family, whatever the case may be. 1/6, 1/12 scale. It keeps us connected as well. We're artisans, we're creatives. I want us to stay connected. So I will be putting that on there, but I wanted to kind of just let you know ahead of time what I was doing. So when it pops up there, you're not wondering, what is this? That is coming from the book, the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. You do want to get it, and I'm not putting it out there like one of those, get it while it's hot, get it. This is not about filling up my pockets with money. This is about, hi, Mrs. Powell, Miss Powell. Jamaica Bell, 1961, is my second grade teacher, and I love her. She has been to my book signings. Just talking about these, the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. She's been to my book signing at Carmichael's before, and oh my gosh, your support for me has been like literally since second grade. Literally, like she's the one that would see my writings and be like, "You gotta do something about this. You need to become a children's book writer." Like, I remember that. You were like, "You need to be a children's book writer." She loved my poetry. She would always have me like front and center stage for all assemblies. I just have nothing but good memories with you. She gave me this little like brown mini skirt because I used to hang out with Mrs. Powell all the time. Love her grandchildren. I see them on here on Instagram. And also on Facebook. She's just amazing. I have nothing but amazing things to say. She's always been supportive of me, my husband, and my children. I love you. You just do so much great things, and you continue to be a great force. So thank you for joining. So I will be posting those entries. That's the word I'm looking for, those entries on here, just so that you guys can see what's in the book. It connects us, and that devotional is all about healing. So the very first part of that devotional does have to deal with spiritual lifestyle, spiritual living. It does deal with forgiveness of self. It deals with forgiveness of others. It deals with eliminating toxic individuals out of your life. Who doesn't want to do that? Like I said, it's not about filling my pockets. It's about us being healed. It's about having a legit, sure enough, healing journey that's going to allow us to be creative. Because how many people know that when you are dealing with toxicity, when you're dealing with unforgiveness of self, unforgiveness of others, there you go. I'm just going in with him. That's what he likes to do. When you're dealing with unforgiveness of yourself, unforgiveness of others, it makes it so hard to be able to be creative. extremely hard. Like, you want to be creative, you want to do all these great and grand things, but you have so many issues with other people to where you feel a creative block, or you're not connecting with the work. You're not able to fully imagine. So you're just doing the work and you're getting through it. You're posting the posts, you're doing the photos, you're making the crafts, but you're not connecting. You're not present. And then you're wondering, like, why am I not getting fulfilled from this? And then you kind of get to a point, and I've seen it time over and time again, where you just stop. Yeah, that's happening because there's this toxicity that's blocking you. It's the same just like if you eat a whole bunch of fats and grease and cholesterol, and then the fats start blocking up the artery, and it makes it where the blood can't flow the same, right? The white blood cells and red blood cells are getting blocked. You have too much fat in the arteries, and it has to be removed. So the beginning part of that book has to do with removing toxicity, because we can't think clear if we're feeling like we're bombarded by stress and toxicity. Well, it gives me always a bit of stress to post. Yeah, I fully understand. I mean, same here, but I believe that the more that we do it, the more easier it becomes to post. But I definitely do feel you as far as it can be very stressful to post. So some voice tells me it is good enough. There you go. And the more that you do it, the more easier it becomes. Like, there's some photos that I've taken where I'm like, it's kind of blurry. I don't want to put it out there. Or I may have taken it in a certain format that makes the doll seem too shiny. But I only got that one photo. And that one photo is going to connect to the next. So if I eliminate it, it's going to kind of be choppy in my storyline. And then I tell myself, just like you said, it's good enough. Let's post it. Because I'm more critical of what I do than other people. Post it. And if someone's that critical, you don't need to be on my page. Just honestly, unfollow. Unfollow or just scroll over. If you still want to follow it, but you don't like what I posted right there, just scroll over it, go to another one. It's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings. So I've had to learn over the years how to become more thick-skinned about it, but it's been a practice. So I fully agree with you on that, that it does get kind of, it does create some stress, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to become, where you're just like, post it. Let's get this story out there, post it. Let's get these photos out there, post it. So one of the things that I have learned, though, in my own life experience is that, you're waving at people, is that creativity does get blocked whenever there's toxicity, whenever there's stress. So you want to be able to eliminate that. And you're not going to be able to eliminate all of it, right? But because you still have to be able to journey through it and suffer through it. But if there are some individuals that you can kind of cut off. But then in the same hand, that devotional deals with, what do you do about people who you can't cut off? What if they're family members? What if it's a boss? What if it's a supervisor or a coworker that you have to deal with? What do you do then? And then in the same hand, if you have difficult people around you, make sure you're not difficult. Make sure that you're being different, but not difficult. Hi, Yasmin Riviera. I've seen your photos and I love them too. My test at my last post let you see I was totally in connect with my imagination. I am going to check it out. Hi, Stacy, Lena, Monique, how are you? And you have a giveaway. Everybody check out her page because she has an amazing giveaway. So check that out. She's also on TikTok too. I follow you, girl. So I already know. I follow you. So that's what that devotional has to do with, is just the importance of being able to connect with your imagination by eliminating as much of the toxicity in your life as you can, and then learning how to manage it. That's one portion of it. And then it deals with being able to get involved with your hobbies, being able to get up a little earlier, being able to accomplish new goals, and be able to see what happens. How do you feel on the inside when you accomplish new goals? How do you feel whenever you reprioritize your life? What do you really need to do versus what you don't need to do? When you get involved with your hobby, there's that other portion of the devotional. Being able to learn the history of it. Connect with other people in your same niche. Don't just be a lone writer, okay? And there's some people who are like, I'm in this and I feel like I'm by myself. What are we talking about? We are talking about the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal that you can check out on Amazon. I wrote it, and I'm not so much as being like, hey, buy it because I wrote it. Buy it because it is an amazing piece of work that's going to aid you as you continue to do this amazing hobby that we're doing, right? No matter if we're getting paid for it, sponsored for it, we are all in this learning how to connect with our inner child, learning how to reimagine, and learning how to be able to be adults and balance, balance play. So that's what this is about. And I was letting everyone know that I'm going to be posting entries, just like one-page entries from that devotional. So when you see that on my feed and in my story, letting you know where it's coming from. And I'll make sure, to put that little, that little hyphen line and say what book it comes from, that you can, of course, get it from Amazon, but just putting on there, the book that it comes from. So when you see it on my feed, you're not like, okay, I thought we were doing stories and lives. We're also going to be having the entries on there, the one-page entries, so that you guys can get a taste of what that book is like. What that book is like, as well as us being able to connect together. So that's just where I'm at. He does the most. My gosh, he is like energetic for days. Like his one day, he has like five days of energy. Yeah, you do. He does. Darren and I, we do not have any children that are just like chillax. All of our kids, for the most part, have a lot of energy. Even like the most chillaxed child is pretty hyped up. They're like, yeah. And they may have like their moments when they quiet down, you put, surprisingly, I'm going to tell you two things that helps them calm down. Lord of the Rings, which I was surprised because I was like, that movie is so long. The movie is so long. They're not going to want to watch it. They love it. And like from the tallest to the shortest, they are quiet. They were just like into it. I was like, what? And they like John Mayer. I'm like, what? Ever since we got involved in listening to John Mayer in the house, they get chilled out. So, I tried to do the classical music and try to do jazz. They do like Bob Marley, but, we've tried all these different, things that's supposed to scientifically keep your child calm. It does not. It does not. I got 2 boys, 5 and 2. They took my energy. I know what that's like. Like literally, we're at whatever hour and time that we're at right now, and I promise you by like 7, that's when I go. Like literally, like I feel so slumped. I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like I feel like old girl Goldie Hawn of Overboard. This is like my favorite movie. And she's like, why would anyone want to do this? Like, because it just takes so much energy. And I love parenting, so I say it from a place of love. It's just like, I don't know how to do this. Like I have no energy. By 7 and 8, it's just like, to bed I go. I just want to go to bed. Oh my gosh. I just put your book into my shopping cart at Amazon. Thank you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you feel. But I'm telling you, even for myself, like I said, if anybody else would have wrote it, I would definitely buy it. And, and I would feel the same way because I'm all about healing. I'm all about being able to be creative and imagine, but being able to do it from a source of passion and from a place of healness. You know what I mean? My kids are metalheads. I will. Thank you so much. And that was Yasmin Riviera who said my kids are metalheads, and Pops said I will. I know, like I said it together in review. When someone watches this, they're going to be like, huh. There's like one person or 2 people. It was 2 people. So, guys, I'm going to do another live where I go through and talk about these dolls and all the relationships that they have as mother and daughter. Because as you guys know, I love mother-daughter dynamics. I have my own mother-daughter relationship with my mom, and then, of course, I have my own relationship with my children. And I have 10 of them, so it's like literally 10 different relationships. And as much as I would love to be like, oh, it's just one cohesive relationship, everyone's a different individual. Sassy dolls, how you doing? Good seeing you on here. Each person is their own individual. So mother-daughter dynamics is really important to me. So maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, we'll go through that. It's a lot of dolls, and I don't really want to spend a whole nother 2-3 hours talking about them because it's a lot of dolls. This is probably going to be I'm, by the grace of God, my only photo shoot and storyline having that many dolls, because that was just draining for me. But it had to happen. You know what I mean? Like it had to happen. Had to have it. So I don't regret it, but it was just a lot. So I do want to go through that. We'll go through it this weekend. But as of today, I just want to thank you guys for joining me. We talked about the devotional, the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. Check it out. Get it. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what, you know, your feedback. You don't have to tell me what you write. That's yours. You know, whatever you write, whatever, you know, that prompt speaks to you. And there's affirmations in there. There's affirmations in there too. I love affirmations. Affirmations, like quotes, have gotten me through so much. It has. I love affirmations. You know, just being reminded of who you are, the strength that you have, that you matter. I'm good, and you both are so adorable. Oh, thank you. There's my little sweetie right here. All 10 of them, but this one's the youngest one. He is. He's a little munchkin. Is it on ebook? No, it's not on ebook, but if you want it on ebook, we can do that. Like, I could do that. We can do that. If you read ebooks, let's do that. Let's do that. I do have some books on ebook. But, yeah. You want to do that? You put a yes in the comments, and it's done. Like, I'm going to get on that ASAP. And then I'll just put out a post letting you know when it's ready. So, Yasmin, let me know. If you read ebooks, you want an ebook, just you asking me, it's like, okay, let's do that. Like, I already got my mind, like, let's do that. Ebook is easier for me. LOL. No problem. Let's do that. So, yeah, let's do that. I'll put out a post so you know when it's ready for ebook then. Let's do it. Yay. Hey, I love feedback. I love being able to hear back. That's the awesome thing about social media. I don't have to wait for a book signing to be able to receive what you're saying right now. Love social media. I love being able to connect with you guys. And I'm telling you, I've been a part of different communities. I was part of the comedy community. I'm still part of the writing community. Been a part of the gospel community. Just different communities. I want to say right now, the doll community and miniature community is the best community. I'm putting it out there. We have the best community, the best niche. There's so much love. I mean, just amazing. I love being a part of us. And that's why this book was birthed, because I love us. I love what we do. I love how we communicate and how we embrace each other. Anytime that there's an issue, and I haven't had an issue with anybody, thank God. But whenever I've, read people having issues, it gets stomped. You know what I mean? Like, it happens and then it stomped. Because we're humans, so stuff happens. And I am just so grateful for just who you guys are, the wonderful, amazing creatives that you are. So that's really what this book is for. I even think it's in like the forward and the dedication that this is for you guys. So I thank you guys for everything that you've done for me. I would love to read it. Ebook would be great. Let's go. So ebook is a yes. We're going with ebook. Thank you guys. We're going to put that on ebook too. So I will let you guys know as soon as possible about when that will be available on ebook. And it is the Adult Play Therapy Devotional and Journal. And do remember, it does have journal prompts, so you can go ahead and he is doing his thing. This is my baby scarf. I keep warm in the winter with my baby scarf. So that book will be available in ebook, but there are journal prompts for you to be able to write in as well. And my froggy stuff said, yay. Yay. Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you guys for joining. I really, really do. I will be back to having my chats. Hi, Coach Play with an I and not a Y, with an I. That's my husband. He is actually at the gym already because he's working. Like I said, he and his clients, his roster is building. He's phenomenal and amazing. I don't say that because that's my husband. I say that because that was literally and still is my personal trainer. And he pushed me, but was still gentle. Wasn't like, hey, you're postpartum, let's get you back down to a size 4. Not like that. He was like, hey, you are postpartum. I know your potential. I know where you can go. But in the same hand, let's remember that you are postpartum. And I'm telling you, like, anything that's going on with me nutritionally, anything that's going on with me fitness-wise has been because of him. And not because of this year, but I love you too, my King Emperor. Not just because of this year, but just throughout our whole living. When I talk about turmeric, I talk about cumin, I talk about any kind of spice and stuff. I was already like a garlic queen, but those things like turmeric and all that stuff comes from my experience of having him in my life and him researching. I've shared with you guys briefly that I have issues with my gallbladder, and for the most part I do pretty well, but that when it flares up, like they wanted to take my gallbladder. I was in a hospital for 3 days right after our twins were born. And they wanted to take my gallbladder because it was that serious. And I was having to, like, they were just born. I was having to pump. And he would come to the hospital and take the milk and bring it back here and come visit. And then I would pump. It was crazy. It was crazy. And they were determined to get my gallbladder because they were just like, yeah, you know, it's in that condition where it needs to go. And I'm telling you, him researching, him being who he is what really has saved my gallbladder and kept me. And then he even has this concoction that he made that I drink, and it has apple cider vinegar in it. He has apple cider vinegar and raw honey and all that stuff also, of course, helps. And he has other stuff in it, and I drink it. It's not even that bad of a taste, and it helps. Like, I drink it before I eat. If I can't remember, I don't always remember. I'll be honest with you, I don't always remember. But even if I drink it and I'm starting to feel like a flare-up, it helps. You know, because otherwise, like, I'm hot water boiling. I've had, like, really bad situations with it that I don't want to go into detail on. But where it has kept me from definitely being on social media, has kept me from being able to be present with my kids, because I'm in the bed just trying to, you know, get through what I'm going through. So I thank God for him. He's been a saving grace. And one of the things I will say is that he does do fitness and nutrition planning and training virtually as well as in person. And like I said, I don't say this because he's my husband. I say it just because of the amazing human being that he is. And he's, you know, just someone who will work with someone on an individual basis. And he's, you know, a man of integrity, a man of truth. So that's why I have such a respect for him. Like I said, not just because that's my husband. Actually, it's outside of him being my husband, just being objective about who he is and how he has helped me and different, you know, elements and situations we've had with our kids. You know, it's been so great with what we've, you know, implemented with our nutrition, to where our pediatrician knows they only see our kids once a year. They're like, well, guess we won't see you till next year. Yeah. Yeah, because we try to do as many home remedies as possible so that, you know, they don't have to go to the doctor like that. They don't have to go to the hospital. You know, so it's been a blessing. Ginger and turmeric is what my froggy stuff said. Yes, ginger and turmeric and garlic. You know, there's times when we just eat raw garlic. From the shortest to the, you know, I should say from the tallest to the shortest. That raw garlic is amazing. Amazing. You know, it does linger on your breath some, but raw garlic, raw honey, amazing. You know, just therapeutic and nutritional food that we can eat in order to, you know, get us, and you know, herbs to get us through just situations of just staying healthy, strengthening the immune system. So yeah, there's been a lot of different things that he's looked up and researched. That's one thing I will say. If he doesn't know, he'll research it. If he does know, he'll still research it. So it's been very, very helpful for me. Supportive husbands and wives are amazing. Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you, dude, like, and that's even cited in the devotional. Like, if you have that one person that supports you, and I'm going to end on this. If you have that one person that supports you, literally that one person is like a global fan base. You don't have to have 10,000 people shouting your name. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you need that one person that's saying you got this. Because when you're by yourself, the 10,000 or whoever else, or 5 people, however, people at your church, you know, just whoever, they're not home with you. The one person is home with you who sees you down, who sees you happy, who sees you mad, who sees you frustrated, is that person that's your partner. And it helps out a whole lot if they're that one that's like saying, you got this, you can get through this. It helps whenever they say, hey, by chance, have you had her in your storyline? You know what I mean? Like it helps so much because you're like, oh, I haven't had that person. And like, I don't know, you know, maybe you could do this or that. And, you know, just like generate some ideas for you. Yes, my husband's my rocks and my froggy stuff. And Sassy Doll said that is so true. Exactly. I'm telling you, you need that one. If you've got that one, boo, you said. You've got it. You know, and whoever else has something else to say against you, oh, well, we're dealing with miniatures and dolls, y'all. To the adult society and adult community, it's like, you're a kid again. They don't want to, some people don't want to take you serious. I don't care what you're doing with it or how you're doing it, if you're doing it as a hobby or business. There are so many different people who are like, I have cousins that are just like, they were already writing me off, and now they're like, oh, now you're in dolls? Definitely writing you off. You're a crazy chick. And that's okay. Because you know why? My husband supports me. My husband agrees with it. My husband is cool with it. My husband's encouraged me about it. My husband's like, you got this. Look at you. Exactly. When he is holding the light so you get the perfect shot. Come on, girl. Come on. That's sassy dolls. Go. Yes. Yes. Listen, this whole little setup right here. Now, my boys did it today, and they've been doing it. And, you know, my daughter helps too. And usually, like, the girls help with the clothes and stuff with me. But let me tell you, this all started because my husband was like, we're going to get you a ring light. We're going to get you a backdrop. We're going to get the... And he did. And it started off with one ring light, and he would get everything together. And then came 2 ring lights, and then everything else. And he showed them how to set it up. He was the one that was like, put the light right here, put it right here, do this. And I want an overhead light. He did it. So, you know, he's been extremely supportive. I got to give him his flowers. You know what I mean? So many times we don't give each other, you know, especially our husbands and spouses and partners, whoever your partner may be. We don't always give them their flowers. We're just like, especially whenever the weight of the world is on us and we have so many different people who are, you know, either speaking against us or just doing against us. And life is hitting and closed doors are there, right? And it's really easy to neglect that voice that's saying, you got this. And I just want to give him his flowers. I just want to say how much, you know, he's helped me. He's inspired me. His push helps me when he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready so that he can train his clients. And then in order to train them in an atmosphere that's not always the best or supportive atmosphere. You know, when we talk about gyms and stuff, that's a whole nother lifestyle. It really, really is. The aggressive attitudes of staff can be pretty difficult to deal with, especially if you're a person who's more heart motivated. And my husband's very much heart motivated. And so it can be a very, you know, just a very oppressive kind of place to be at, right? So for him to get up every day and train his clients, and really when he trains his clients, he's seeing their potential and wanting them to, you know, he's very great at imagining. So he's really like seeing the potential and wanting to maximize on that for them. Oh, I'm good. Oh, my little sweeties, they were like, let's bring you some more toilet paper. Thank you. That's who he is. And you want a trainer who sees you not where you're at, but sees where you're going to go. Because that's the goal, right? So you want them to see your goal, even if you don't. Even if you're like, oh, I'm still the same size. I don't know if I'm able to do it. And they're like, you got this. I see it. I see it. Keep going. And then you start getting results and you're like, wow, okay, I see what you saw. And that's who he is. So it can be a very oppressive, you know, situation. But he does it every day. And that's what encourages me. Like, get up. Write it. Get up. Make the pictures. Get up. Do the posts. Get up. You know, do whatever you're doing. You know, or you know, stop. You know, we homeschool. So it's real easy to get very deep into homeschooling. Stop doing the homeschooling. Let them do something fun. Like yesterday, we did some really fun exercises. I think it was like, was it called Michael Wood? Those exercises that y'all did? Was it Michael Wood? Brain something other? Brain break. Oh my gosh, we did that. Yeah, they were like fun exercises. It was really, really cool. So instead of just like having them do, you know, just very rigid exercises, it was so cool. And I did it with them and I had so much fun. My legs were hurting afterwards. I was like, dude, we needed this. So you need to be able to have those moments of break time. And so him having the push that he does is so encouraging and it inspires me so much to be able to, you know, like, let's pause right here. Let's have a break time. Exactly. So I just want to put that out there. Our husbands, our spouses, they're great. I'm going to read these comments real quick. Yes, my husband is my rock when he's holding the light so you get the perfect shot. Yasmin Riviera said, my husband has been supportive since I told him about my hobby since our first date 7 years ago. Go, girl. My froggy stuff, sassy dolls with a smiley face with the lovey hearts And Sassy Doll says, I guess we all have found the one for us. That's really sweet of him. Isn't that right? Exactly, exactly. And that's another thing that makes us so different and so unique. And another reason why I treasure our doll community. I know I'm supposed to like wrap this up, but real quick. That's why I treasure our doll community. Because before you guys, I would talk about my husband. And I would be around women that were like, I can't wait to get away from mine. Like, they were really serious. Like, I remember we would go to church conferences. And we would go out of town. And they would be like, I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to stay there. And I was like, I can't wait to go home. I'm ready to see my husband. I'm ready to see my kids. And they would just be like, and they would look at me like something was wrong with me. And I was trying to understand what was wrong with them, because why wouldn't you want to spend time with your husband? Why wouldn't you want to spend time with your kids? Like, why do I want to stay away from my family? And I really didn't get it. I honestly didn't get it. I still don't. So it feels good to me, and it's so refreshing to me to see your comments that you're saying about love and about family, because not everyone feels that way. And, you know, and when I went to school, when I was in grad school, and I remember I was pregnant, I was like on number 3, and they were like, don't you know how to keep your legs closed? Like, what's wrong with you? I was done after number 2. Oh, wait. I was on number 4. And they were just like, and it was weird to me, and it made me feel really bad. I had so many people that were just like, so you really do love your husband? Like, that's why y'all keep doing this? Yeah, I love my husband. There's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy him. And, you know, we want to be able to express our love for each other. And all these children were talked about before they even came into being. So I love that we can have this dialogue. We can have this conversation. And perhaps that's one of the things that makes us so unique, too, because not everyone shares that interest in their partner. They're just like, yeah, they're here. But I see daily, all the time, here on our Instagram, you know, doll community and in miniature community, the love that people have for their spouses and how they give their partners flowers while they're still alive. I love it. I love it. So I just want us to keep that flow going, that same energy. He's messing with one of my ring lights over here. He's busy. Doctor asked yesterday, he was like, well, does he get into stuff? Is he climbing? Doc, I will help you see this live, even if it's on repeat, because he's getting into stuff right now. He's messing with the ring light. You can hear it. That's just what kids do. So I thank you guys so much for joining. Like I said, I'm going to try to get back with you guys either Saturday or Sunday. You guys have an amazing week. I'm giving you a virtual hug. Hug. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Keep creating. You're inspiring. Don't forget to check out that book. Get it on Amazon. Put it in your cart. Get 2 if you want, so you can give it to someone else. This is about healing. It's not about filling up pockets. This is about healing and us being connected. So thank you guys again. Love you. Bye-bye.